I met a gypsy.
And there's a video of I could play it. Like I got it, but it's like you pull Eli Tomac off the podium. Do you want to watch it? Should we watch it?
I've seen it.
You've seen it?
Yes.
Have you seen it?
I didn't pull him off the podium.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. Oh, I was there.
But you did pull. I watched the video.
I actually pulled him off the podium.
Yeah. Do you want to watch it?
Sure.
All right. I'll just because I just think it just adds a bit of context of so this is. Oh, sorry. I got to go back a little bit. So Tomac comes on the podium, and he's just won the second moto. So this isn't on TV yet, but this is like the broadcast camera.
Right.
And then you're coming up here. And so you're basically saying, like, I'm the owner of Glen Helen. Do it now. I need you to go back. And he's like and so from what I've been told, they were supposed to cut to live TV here, and they couldn't cut to it because he's now walking off the podium. And then see like there's like a lot of confusion, and then Tomac's going back up to the
right. Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, well, so I guess my question in that is like,
I was just told,
but I guess the thing is, there's got to be a level of, like, if I just have to put myself in like
sure
the series position here. Like if you've got an owner of a track that you can't cut to like the live TV and like the things that you've kind of every other consistency, like if you can't trust that you're going to be able to operate smoothly and cleanly and just without a hitch every single time that you go there like they do with other people, like could you see how that can cause an issue with
understood
I feel bad and I'm trying to ask the right question.
I appreciate you asking the question, and if you notice, I said, well, this is crazy. I'm going to back off, okay?
Yeah.
But at the time, I had just been told, you know, I was promised, I made a deal, shook hands with Davey Coombs, and this was going to happen, and it didn't happen, you know, and so I was in the moment because I wanted him not to go buy VIP fans. I wanted him to go buy, you know, and it was a very simple thing to do, but I was kind of like, you know, like, screw you, we're not going to do it, and it was very frustrating to me. Yeah, so I did lose my composure, but now I realize that I shouldn't have, and but I again, this was for the fans. It wasn't.
And I was about to. I'm going to back you up. All this is coming from a good place.
Yeah.
All right, I fully get that.
Yeah, it's all for the fans. Always for the fans.
I 100% get that. And why? I've raced at Glen Helen. I've been to Glen. You know what I mean? And so, I'm only saying this because it's like I know it's coming from the right place.
Sure. Well,
but you just couldn't have it as a as the organizer of the series. Like it's just that look is, and just to know like, if I go to Glen Helen, I'm gonna have to deal with that. And as well, like, so that didn't get sent to me by Davey, actually. So, but there's another thing where, like, Davey's never released that, you know? Like, that footage, could have come out a long time ago.
Correct.
And he's never done it. He's never released it. He never even spoke to me about that incident. I had other people call me that were like, Davey's too nice. Davey's so nice about this whole Glen Helen thing. Like, so it was other people. So, I mean, I've got to then give a fair bit of like credit to Davey personally, because if I had that, I'd just be like, fuck it, this is the guy that I got to deal with. Like, I don't want to deal with it, you know. So
what went wrong though? Wouldn't you ask if you owned it? What went wrong? What went wrong, Lori? Why did that work?
Well, so back to that whole situation. When we went back to negotiate for the contract for 2019, that was brought up in some of our conversations. And truthfully, when I sat down, and actually I wasn't even with Davey, it was Carrie, and I told her, I'm going to take 50% of that blame for that situation. And I said, kind of Davey might have to take 50% because us two were the ones that were up there when Bud and Davey shook hands on it. My problem was as we went back down, I sent somebody else to the production meetings, not myself because I was too busy. And I forgot to reiterate to production that this is what we wanted to do. In return, Davey forgot to tell Nick McCabe from NBC the same thing. So when we started negotiations back again, I basically said, hey, Carrie, let me take 50% of that whole blame because I was there. It was my duty to tell the person that I sent to the production meeting, this is what we wanted. And it fell through the cracks on both my part and Davey's.
Into perspective, that was the second moto.
Yeah.
And I've already addressed it with the NBC guy. We can do that. Everybody else knew about it. And it still didn't happen. So
and then I think, but like the chances of Eli Tomac giving a fuck about any of that after he's just gone 1-1, crazy good, like it's just he's just going to ride to the podium. So like all the procedures that you could possibly ever try and put in place, you could still just have one dude decide.
Yeah.
Eli Tomac's just riding to the podium. So like even if you did everything right, even if MX Sports did everything right, even if NBC did everything right, Eli Tomac is on the motorcycle and just rides up to the podium, and all of everyone's plans go to shit without any bad intentions at all.
Wouldn't you, though, as Davey Coombs, when I confronted him on the first moto, said, Bud, I'm sorry about that. I'll make sure it happens.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
Eli
Tomac just rides to the podium, and then whatever Davey Coombs did or didn't want to do is irrelevant anyway because he's on the podium. And then
this is before.
I know, but what I'm saying is Eli doesn't know that you shook hands.
That's what
Eli doesn't know.
No.
And even if someone told him after 30 minutes at Glen Helen,
I wasn't blaming Eli at all.
But what I'm saying is, like, there's this potential breakdown in communication between what you said and what you thought was going to happen and what Davey said he was going to do for the second moto. All I'm saying is Eli Tomac just as a wrench in that works. Because if he just decides to just go full autonomous and rides to the podium, you don't have control of that. Davey doesn't have control of that.
There was a flagman there, Davey Coombs employee flagman, that flagged him into the podium. That flagman should have said,
I know, but what I'm saying is there's just there's so many things that can go wrong along the way.
Right. That's why you
can make it, like, all plans mean nothing, you know?
That's
right.
Totally agree.
And that's exactly what I said from the very beginning. There's never a perfect event.
Yeah.
Never will be a perfect event, and there's going to be little things that don't go right, and that's every week. I mean, and that could be
100%, whether it's at a national or an REM.
It could be a national, it could be at Loretta's, it could be at a million different events. So, yeah.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.